this is Nima.
And I'm Michael.
And we are Wanderlust.Cfers.
Gloomy and overcast. Can't wait to see some sunshine. We touched down in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, which we are home for the next few weeks.
What is that, gym?
Yeah, it's a gym, so it's over there.
Didn't have a lot of footage because there was running in the lodge, so we're outside most of the time.
Day 1 was a nice bodyweight WOD, but on day 2, they definitely turned it up. workouts on the book for the next few days, doing some excursions around town. They say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. It's nice to get out, but you know you can't keep us away from the box.
Ready, guys? 300 reps would be fantastic.
Of an eye, our time in Puerto Vallarta had come to an end. We want to thank CrossFit Zapata for hosting us. We had a great time, really enjoyed your community, and really look forward to coming back. Hey guys, it's Michael.
And Nima.
And as you can see, we're definitely not in Puerto Vallarta anymore. So we're on our next trip, looking to bring you guys more content. But in the meantime, we did want to close out our trip to CrossFit Zapata and Puerto Vallarta. So I did 4 workouts there, and she did 3. And very quickly, just want to get into, our review of the box itself. So the box is set up on 2 floors. It does have a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom. You can fit 1 person in it, as you can tell from the video, and they only have 1 shower. That's definitely something that you're going to want to consider when you go there. If you go in a group of 2 or even bigger, there's only 1 shower, so you're going to have to cycle through it, and it could eat up your time depending on what you have planned after the trip. There's adequate storage for everything. We didn't have any issues finding a spot for setting down our workout equipment, our backpacks. There's actually enough space if you are traveling out that day. If you wanted to bring a suitcase, you would have to lug it up some stairs, and that's definitely one interesting part.
Yeah, so the 2-floor situation. So the top floor, that's where you go in, and that's where the receptionist desk is and everything like that, and going a little more into that. But the top floor is where you do like the main metcons. Not a lot of bar work. They have rig, they have the rowers, the bikes. More cardio movements are done upstairs. On the downstairs, that's where the heavy bar work happens. They also have rigs there. That's where you would do the conditioning for heavy bar work.
Yeah, definitely. And the whole reason for that, we've gathered, this happens at multiple boxes that we've been to, is that you're just not able to drop the weights. So they have shared walls. They're in a business complex or a residential complex at the bottom floor. And you're just not able to drop the weights because you have shared walls and it makes noise. So it's just something you got to be aware of, something that we've gotten used to, I guess, is having to drop them either onto heavy pads or, in the worst case, having to bring it to waist level or below waist level before you set it down. It definitely creates a whole eccentric load, changes the workout completely, and if you're not used to it, it can definitely throw a kink in any plans you have for that WOD.
So the cleanliness of it, can we talk about that? Because I was quite amazed by the cleanliness of that facility. So whenever I walked in, I noticed that the floor was a little wet, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then whenever we were done, I realized why. They have like an in-house person, which is pretty normal for international or outside of the U.S. Boxes. They have someone designated to clean daily. At this one, it was after each session they would go around and mop the floors. I was like, wow, that's really nice. And I noticed that, whenever you were on the ground or whatever, you weren't getting dirt on you, which some of the U.S. gyms you do.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the U.S. boxes, you do some movements, you just doing some burpees, right? And you'll naturally pick up some dirt. This one, zero issues.
Yeah.
So chasing back to the layout, again, it is 2 floors. As you mentioned, we did most of the aerobic stuff upstairs. They have a rig upstairs. They do have a rig downstairs as well, but downstairs seems to be primarily reserved for the heavy bar work. So the running path, that one's also interesting. So you have to run down the stairs or run up the stairs if you're at the bottom level to get to the street level. And from the street level, that's where you perform your actual running. It is on a major thoroughfare. There aren't a lot of cars. We didn't have any issues with traffic, but you do need to be aware that, when you're running away from the box, you're running against traffic, and when you're running towards the box, you're running with traffic. So it's definitely interesting because it's a one-way street. We stayed at, what hotel was that?
The Hyatt Ziva.
So we stayed at the Hyatt Ziva, beautiful hotel, private beach. Definitely enjoyed that location. And the best part is CrossFit Zapata is very close to Hyatt Ziva. It's about 6 to 7 minutes away, but we did have an issue with taxis.
Yeah, so just a warning, we took Uber a couple of times and we had no trouble with that because, you're able to put in the address, and so they get the map, they know where they're going. With the taxi, you have the language barrier, and you're trying to speak to them and let them know where it is, and they're not familiar with the CrossFit Zapata gym, and so we did get a little bit lost, and so we almost were a little bit late for the class. So just to be warned about that, make sure, if you are taking a taxi, maybe take a little extra time before you get there, or, take an Uber.
Yeah, take an Uber. It's easier. So overall size, it's a pretty big box, actually. If you put it all on one floor, it would be comparable to, most boxes in the state. We didn't have any issues on any of the WODs that we did or for the class sizes that we saw or had there. So it works for them. Definitely recommend going there. So overall, the programming, what do you think?
So I think it's a lot similar to what they preach on CrossFit.com. It's really similar to what I'm used to at our home gym. You warm up together, he goes over the workout, the coach, and then we stretched, which I appreciated, and then he really went through the workout and what you need to do and how you need to do it, form and everything. What I appreciated was the day that we did for our muscle up, he had really cool and helpful progressions, and we went over it. It was pretty lengthy time of going over it, but then by the time that we actually went in Metcon, I felt like I was warmed up and I was good to go for those bar muscle ups.
Yeah, and she keeps saying he because we had the same coach on every day. The 3 days that she was there, and even that 4th day that I was there, he was the one coach for, I guess, I don't know, it was a time slot, or we just ended up catching him. But solid coaching. That's one of the big things is depending on how the coaching is, their energy level really dictates how your workout's going to be. And every time we came in, it was all smiles, very energetic. Again, zero issues with pointing out what we were doing wrong, giving us pointers.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the language barrier, him speaking Spanish and us being primarily English speakers, it was no issue.
He was super friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, the second day we got there, he was like, "Oh, hey Nima, hey Michael," like he already knew us, like we were regulars at the gym.
Yeah. So thoughts on the overall community? What do you think about the staff and the other athletes that we work out with?
Yeah, like I said earlier, so they have the person who cleans it, then they have the receptionist, they have like a full staff there, and sometimes they work out with us, so we kind of got to know them, so it just felt really homey to be there. And then the overall feel of the community, so they have people that, you know, that lived in PDR, and then people that are coming to visit like we are, and people that work there, so all of them, like, we kind of went the same time every day, so we kind of got to know everybody, and by the end of it, you know, we were like, "Oh, hey, you know, like, where are you going next? What are you doing?" kind of thing. So it was good. And then one thing I thought was cool, you know, we always every CrossFit gym you go to, you end with a fist bump or something, some way of being like, "Good job." And I found that theirs was really interesting. So I appreciate how everyone has a unique flavor, but at the end of the day, you know, it's the same purpose.
It was a great community. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed the coaching. You know, within the first day, we were talking to, you know, the locals, the normal athletes who call that box their home, and you know, even with the language barrier, again, we were able to hold a conversation and, you know, talk about anything and everything, and they were very open and receptive to us and what we were doing, even with the camera in their face.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Alrighty, guys, that's all we got. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care and thank you.
Bye.
Bye.